Well, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Mike Saniga. I'm the Director of Student Engagement and Learning Innovation with RPA Canada. Welcome to a very special day, the 5th annual RPA Women Entrepreneur Awards ceremony, which is part of RPA's Small Business Week celebrations, brought to you by the Society of Professional Accountants of Canada. Small businesses are an integral part of our society. Of the 1.2 million employer businesses in Canada, almost 98% of them are small business. They employ more than 2/3 of Canada's private labor force, and they represent almost 4/10 of Canada's gross domestic product. And many of these small businesses are owned and operated by women. 2, in fact, are in my household. This is a day for celebration. This year, the Society received more nominations for women entrepreneurs than ever before, and the committee had a lot of work to review every candidate. The bigger challenge for Kitty Atkinson and the awards committee was not in finding great examples of women entrepreneurs. They're everywhere. But in narrowing down this impressive list to just 5. But the committee did it. A lot of work, a lot of arguing, I'm sure, a lot of debates, and a long and vigorous interview process. We have 5 amazing women entrepreneurs who we will be honoring today for their accomplishments. Before we hear from our award winners, which we're all here for, so I don't want to get in the way, but we have some very special guests that will be saying a few words. I'm honored to welcome the following guests of honor. Zubair Chowdhury, President and CEO of RPA Canada. He'll be providing some opening remarks. We'll also be receiving special remarks from the Honourable Charmaine Williams, Member of Provincial Parliament, Associate Minister of Women's Social and Economic Opportunity, the Honourable Rechi Valdez, which I believe she's on her way, en route, the Member of Parliament for Mississauga-Streetville and Minister of Small Business, the Honourable Karen Vecchio, Member of Parliament for Elgin. Sorry, I did some work in Illinois. So Elgin, Middlesex, London, Shadow Minister for Women, Gender Equality and Youth, and Chair of the Standing Committee on the Status of Women. Did I get that right? I hope so. Our keynote speaker, the Honourable Nina Tangri, Member of Provincial Parliament and Associate Minister of Small Business. Ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor, it's a pleasure to introduce a remarkable individual who needs no grand introduction, but certainly deserves one. We're honored to have Mr. Zubair Chowdhury deliver some opening remarks, who again is the President and CEO of the Society of Professional Accountants of Canada. Mr. Chowdhury is a visionary leader who has left an indelible mark on this landscape of accounting in Canada. He's breathed new life into the RPA and APA designations, reshaping them with a fresh vision and mission and innovative education and training programs. As an experienced accountant, motivator, and mentor, he's been dedicated to promoting the accounting profession in Canada and beyond. What sets Mr. Chowdhury apart is his unwavering commitment to championing gender equality and women's entrepreneurship and empowerment. 5 years ago, as president of the Society, he took the bold step of launching an RPA Women Entrepreneur Award to recognize and celebrate the incredible achievements of women entrepreneurs. Not stopping there, he initiated the RPA Education Scholarship programs for deserving accounting students from around the world. With over 30 years of experience, Mr. Chowdhury is not only a prominent figure in the world of accounting, but also the proud father of 2 accountants himself. His depth of knowledge spans across accounting designations, safeguarding the public interest, professional codes of conduct, and the codes of ethics for accountants. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving a warm welcome to Mr. Zubair Chowdhury.
Thank you very much, Mike Saniga. Just to prove that I didn't pay him to say all those things. So anyway, it just seems like yesterday that 5 years ago when I took the responsibility to lead the Society of Professional Accountants of Canada. And that was the time that the society was going down because of accounting profession mergers of different accounting bodies, which we as an RPA decided not to be part of that merger because we wanted to keep our focus, our identity as RPA accountants independently. And when I became president, so beside implementing, developing education committee, our marketing strategy, our public administration, lobbying with the government, getting the full recognition, and all that stuff. And I said, no, we as an RPA, we are professional accountant. We should be part of our community where we live and we work. So we must participate and contribute to the society. And there were different ideas how and which area of community which is lacking services that we should pick. And at that point in time, I personally picked and proposed to the board that we believe on women empowerment. And then we believe that women entrepreneurship is the way of empowering women. And that is the area which I proposed, and the board very gladly, after discussion, agreed and implemented and adopted that policy, that society, because we are the accountants serving small to medium-sized businesses. We put ourselves apart from other accountants that, as Michael mentioned, that 97-98% of the businesses in this country are small to medium-sized businesses. And there was a need to have an accounting designation who will serve those 98% of the businesses with the relevant education, with the related experience, and more in-depth commitment to small businesses. So at that time, when I became the president, and I said, since our focus is going to be small businesses, and then there is a small business week celebration, why should not we combine our activity on that day where we also celebrate small businesses and at the same time we promote our accounting professional and their knowledge and their commitment to the profession. So 5 years now, this is our 5th year, so we are selecting most accomplished, most successful women entrepreneur. And idea is not just women in business. The idea is to get their stories, which were lacking in our society. The most of the time we hear the story that women need help is give the woman welfare. That is not the solution. And at that time we discussed and we said, we don't need a woman a handout when they need it. We need a woman hand up so they can have that services. Thank you. So this was our main reason, and we are committed on principle. And I, as a president, directed all my practicing accountants across Canada who are serving small to medium-sized businesses, and I requested them that please, in your office where you are serving small businesses, if a woman walks into your office and she say, I want to start a business, help me. So you put everything aside, take this opportunity to help her. And you cannot imagine how many women our RPA members have put on track in the businesses, that they are not going to be independent, empowered, plus they are contributor. They are contributor to the society. They are standing on their own feet. They are respected. They are honorable. And they are contributor to this whole system. So this is the philosophy we want to promote in our society. So then that way we are part of the solution of our community, that we bring this thing. And today, ladies and gentlemen, 5th year of this celebration. And I think the presence of the most significant woman in power and have ability to help not only the women, help us to do the things for the women empowerment. And we have a small business minister, Honorable Natangri here. And we have another fine minister connecting with the women and youth and gender equality. And I am also honored that by last minute, Karen Vecchio showed up and she said, yes, I want to be part of the women empowerment and I want to be part of this. And it looks like this Women Entrepreneur Award is becoming like a roundtable discussion about women issues and women empowerment and women in business. And I think I seize that opportunity to request. I know Ricky Wallet will be coming. She's a Minister for Small Business federally. She will be joining us later soon. And I think we should put some policy and ideas together. We want to change the philosophy. Okay, and I now come back to this year's award. So first of all, I would like to acknowledge the award selection committee. Very fine, experienced, dedicated ladies who really help us to select those women who you're going to be listening and honoring today. And I must acknowledge Kitty Atkinson, the chair of our selection committee. And Puran is a member of selection committee. Shelley Jarrett is not only the member of our committee, she is our past award recipient. So give her again a hand. And then we have another fine lady, Gina Batista. Gina, it was a wonderful story that when she also not only a member of the committee, she is also the award recipient. And when that year when you received that award, that was, you cannot imagine how much enthusiasm that your success brought at that time. And now you are part of our selection committee. We thank you for your participation. And we also have a young, thank you. And we also have a young member of this committee who we sponsored as a student from Philippines, Maris De La Rosa. So this young girl, we sponsored her as an accounting student. She's going to Humber College. We sponsored her, and she's studying there, and then she is getting her training and mentorship from RPA office. And that is one we want to make the future leaders, not only in accounting, but in business entrepreneurs as well. So this year, thank you. And I know there is other Lorena Perry. I hope she's here, if you can acknowledge her. And Gilali Rios. Okay, they are also maybe not here for prior commitment, but they were really part of our committee. They did a wonderful job. They made my job easy by reviewing all those nominations, more than 25 nominations. It's a big job, and I really commend them by doing that one. And then they shortlisted that list. Because I didn't want to take responsibility who you pick. So it is off my shoulder. So these are the ladies who picked those winners. And I tell you one thing, once they chose the winner, and I said, I want to talk to them. I want to listen to why they deserve this award. And I'm telling you, I spoke with every single one of them. And I just want to just give you a little hint what I heard. In Canada, in Ontario, being part of the society and community, I have seen the women generation to generation to generation dependent on welfare system. I saw them and I see that thing. And then we need to change that. We need to change that dependency on the welfare system for the women to be independent and empowered and to be contributor. And that is a philosophy. And then when I was talking to one of the award recipients, you cannot imagine. Her mother was entrepreneur. She became entrepreneur. And then she told me her two daughters are working with her to take over when she retires. So we want to change the multi-generational women in business than women on welfare. That's what we want to change. And then other very important thing, I'm not going to go to the statistic. Mike Seneca gave you guys statistic, and I know our minister will talk about the percentages of all these things. But I want to give you the philosophy, what really our country, our society need. And then I talked to the next award recipient. She's a wonderful lady, so enthusiastic, so energized. And then she told me when I started my business, my parents were on my side. Both her parents, they are here, they are sitting here, and you will see that. And they helped their daughter to succeed. So that means when a woman enters to the entrepreneurship field, they need support from their family. And then she got married, and she told me that her husband is very much supportive for her to accomplish in entrepreneurship journey. And then I spoke with another award recipient, and she told me the story that she came to Canada as single single woman, and then she started her own business with $400 rental unit, $400 to share a unit with somebody. She didn't stay home to wait for the welfare check. She went out and she started the business. So these are the stories, which are the $1 million stories. You will not get anywhere. You are the Minister of Small Businesses. We need to promote this culture. And I tell you one thing, I meet with all these women as clients or as events. I find them very smart, intelligent, and knowledgeable women. And imagine that if one woman cannot be given the opportunity to start a business, that opportunity is lost. That means we do not want to lose any opportunity where we can help, support, assist a woman to start a business. This is our mission. This is our goal. And then I heard another story of the award recipient today, that she was raised by a single mother who was independent woman. And then she just taught her daughter how to be independent. She struggled, she succeeded, and she started her own business. And then she thought that I have to go back to study, and she did her master's in business administration and became the most successful entrepreneur. And then we have another story. A new immigrant woman came to Canada, and she didn't want to be dependent on the system. She took an opportunity to start a business. And then she told me, when I started my business, I was a one-woman company. And I was the one buying, I was the one selling, I was one delivering, I was one paying, I was one doing cleaning, I was doing everything. That is the example of the woman. And today, when I heard her, she had the most successful business, a big warehouse, truckload deliveries coming, and she has so many employees working for her. These are the stories. These are real entrepreneurs. We do not want those entrepreneurs who call themselves social entrepreneurs. Yes, they are doing job, but that's a different area of social entrepreneurship. We need a real business. And I tell these women, I know system is not favorable to women because they get less support. By the way, the Canada and America and New Zealand, only 3 countries, the highest on the graph, have the most favorable society and system for women to get in the business. America is number 1 with 70%. New Zealand is number 2 with 67%. And Canada is number 3 with 65%. So imagine that our environment, our system is more supportive to women to get in the business, 67%. And yet we have only 17% women in the business. Why? We have to change that. Okay? We have to change that one. That doesn't mean that we are discriminating men in the business, but we want to uplift the women to be in the business field so they can be equal partners. That's what the gender equality is supposed to be. And you are the woman in charge of gender equality. Gender equality is not to put the men down. Gender equality is to pick the women up. That's what we need to do. Okay, so, and I also really thankful to all those award recipients today. They're gonna be, getting their awards. Mahnaz Atkinson, Indra Corina, Estefania Hernandez Sanchez, Merrick Richards, and Lorraine Johnson. Wonderful women, good stories. You will hear from them, and they are the most deserving. So I really congratulate all of them, and I welcome all of you, my society's board of directors, our members, our friends, supporters, that let's do it together. Let's make the change. Let's make the system, promote and improve the system more favorable, more helpful to women to enter in the business field. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Zubair. We are very short minutes away from introducing the stories of our 5 award recipients. But before we get there, I'd like to introduce Minister Vecchio for some short opening remarks. Karen Vecchio was first elected as the Member of Parliament for Elgin, Middlesex, London in 2015, re-elected in 2019 and 2021 federal elections. Karen currently serves as the Shadow Minister for Women and Gender Equality and Youth and the Chair of the Standing Committee on the Status of Women, as we have discussed. But in her capacity as Member of Parliament, Karen has served as the Deputy House Leader for the Official Opposition, 2020 and 21, Shadow Minister for Women and Gender Equality, 19 and 20, Chair of the Standing Committee on the Status of Women, Shadow Minister for Families, Children and Social Development, Chair of the Conservative Social Development Caucus, and the Conservative Caucus Liaison to the LGBTQ plus community. That's a mouthful. All of that work, I'm tired now knowing how much work you're doing. She participates regularly in the All-Party Agricultural Caucus, the All-Party Anti-Poverty Caucus, the Canadian NATO Parliamentary Caucus, and the All-Party Parliamentary Group to End Modern Slavery and Human Trafficking. Very interestingly, Karen was raised on a turkey and hog farm in Sparta, Ontario, and remains connected to her rural roots in southern Ontario. Prior to entering politics, she owned and operated a small business in London and worked alongside former Member of Parliament Joe Preston as his executive assistant for 11 years. Karen is married to Mike, and they have 5 children. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Karen Vecchio.
Thank you very much. And as you'll see in the agenda, it's a little off because every time I come into the room, I just kind of throw things into a mess and a little bit of a ball. And so I do apologize for messing around. I'm not in the agenda. This is a good thing for you guys. So I really would like to say thank you to Zubair. The words that he was saying today really struck a chord with me because even what he was talking about, even the actions he uses, are exactly what I'm saying. If we want to raise women up, it's about raising them up while keeping men successful at the same time. I have been the chair of the Status of Women since 2017 with a short break when I was the Deputy House Leader, but I have worked on these files since being a Member of Parliament for the last 8 years. As a previous small business owner, I do know, I've lived that. I know what it's like to have children and running a small business. It's one heck of a job. And at the same time, not only are you a mother, a lot of times you're a daughter as well. And so for all of those women out there that are entrepreneurs, can I have a show of hands? Who is a mom and a daughter at the same time right now? And I'm going to ask you the next question. How was COVID for your mental health? How was COVID? So, to all you men, I appreciate all of you out there. I know you're doing an amazing job. I have one of the best husbands. Zubair got to see him in action today when I said, okay, driver, what time do I have to be back in London? But it's really about how we support one another. And being women in COVID was a very, very difficult time because not only were we trying to run our own small businesses, in my case, I was a Member of Parliament, but we are also trying to be those caregivers that were taking care of our parents who we didn't want to get ill, taking care of our children who were not being able to be in school and trying to help them with their homework. So as women, yes, it's great that we're entrepreneurs and great business owners, but many of us are challenged with those 2 and 3 different hats that we're wearing at the same time. And that's one thing I know. As women, multitasking is what we do and what we do best. So I'd like to thank all of the women out there, and to all of the award winners today. Congratulations. You have proven exactly the strength of women and the power of what we can do when we work together. When we talk about empowerment, this is something also, and I'm looking at all of the men in the room, and I would like to say thank you. I was very fortunate, and we've always, when we talk about how do women succeed, we need mentors. And how can you have a mentor if women have never been in that space before? And so I had a mentor named Joe Preston, still do. He was the Member of Parliament from 2004 to 2015, a small business owner, and owns one of the best Wendy's in Canada. I'll let you know. Best Wendy's in Canada is in St. Thomas, Ontario. But from him, his time, his patience with me, knowing that at any time I could pick up the phone and ask a question. That is what men here in this room are part of doing that as well. How can we help women? We can make the space for them, and we can be their mentors, and we can make sure that when we have questions that we realize that no question is stupid. We always say that, but it's going to be different. I really would like to say thank you to all of those men who have helped raise women up. So thank you to all of you as well. Finally, on my last note, I am not only here as Karen Vecchio, but I'm here as Pierre Polyev. I look a little differently, and I don't speak as well, let's just say that. But I do have a message here from Pierre, so I'd like to read it on his behalf. On behalf of Canada's Common Sense Conservatives, it is a pleasure to offer my best wishes to everyone at the Society of Professional Accountants of Canada. Organizations like yours showcase the best of Canada, helping Canadians grow their skills, find good jobs, and bring home powerful paychecks. Your time has helped to restore hope to our country in these hard times. As you celebrate your AGM, may you be encouraged as you look back on what you've accomplished this year and anticipate the exciting changes you're making for next year. Let's bring it home. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you very much. And it certainly was no bother. Come on up and bother me. Bother us anytime. That's great. Zubair also likes to throw chaos into here, and he's already introduced both the awards committee and the winners, which is great. So I'm glad they're not paying me by the word. I'm joking. So what we're going to do now, actually, is we are at the moment we've all been waiting for. It's time to celebrate our 2023 Women Entrepreneurs of the Year. And this year, we're doing something a little different. We're going to have the entrepreneurs tell us about their stories personally through video. And the first award winner is Manaz Atkinson from Markham, Ontario. I'd like to invite Manaz Atkinson up to the stage, and Minister Tangri and Zubair Chowdhury to present the award winner. And then afterwards, I'll give you some time to speak to your fans.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Manaz Atkinson, and I'm owner of Color Rose Development. Thank you to RPA Canada for this amazing acknowledgement and award. I am deeply proud and honored. The determination and the belief that hard-working women can achieve anything they set their minds to is a testament to this truth. And I am here to share my story with you in the hope that it will inspire others to chase their dreams. I originally started Sala Rose Development in 2009. My passion for interiors and architecture first flourished when I traveled as a young child on a family holidays. I continue exploring interiors with multiple home renovations throughout the years and expanding my knowledge of construction and interior through my own personal projects. Despite having spent 2 decades in the hair business, I decided to restudy as an interior designer as my passion for creating spaces only grew bigger with each of the projects I worked on, creating a company I have today. It takes immense courage to start something new when you already have something stable and successful. But I knew that I couldn't give up my dreams. Today, I proudly stand as the founder of thriving construction development company with both my daughters working alongside with me. But my journey doesn't end here. I am driven to inspire other women to realize their limitless potential. We are unstoppable force, capable of achieving greatness beyond imagination. I want every woman out there to know that with determination, hard work, and unwavering belief in oneself, there are no limits to what we can accomplish. I want to leave you with this message. Hardworking women can achieve anything they set their minds to. Yes, life may throw obstacles in our path, but it's our determination and unyielding spirit that will lead us to extraordinary achievements. Thank you. I hope my story inspires anyone to believe in yourself and to never give up chasing your dreams. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Indira Kurana, as you heard. I'm an accidental entrepreneur. I mean, never thought I'll be an entrepreneur. I was a scientist, doctorate in physics I have, and I was an assistant professor in India as well as in Florida State University. Qualified for International Young Women Scientist Award, and I got the immigration as well. And unfortunately, that time there was hiring freeze here and nobody did research in my field. So as you heard, I had to start something with absolutely nothing, just the knowledge of physics, never done business. Nobody in my family did business. We come from army background. So I didn't know. I just had a little bit of laser physics knowledge, and I thought, something in laser can be done. So I bought myself a very small little machine and started doing test marketing, rented a little room for $400. And now I have a room, I have a small machine, but how to get clients? I had a cell phone with my phone number, and I used to handwrite my price list, phone number and everything. And in Staples, for $3, I used to make 100 copies every day. And I used to distribute those 100 flyers, that was my target, to distribute that, and next day I'll get 1 or 2 calls and I'll make some, money out of it. And next day again, $3 was my advertising budget at that time. And I started with that, and after that I started making even $200, $300 a day. That was quite nice, and after that, that place was not good enough for me, and I had to move from there, went to another place. And there I got a lot of clients, and then I told them, I have a machine, I have clients, what can I do? They said, oh, if you have all that, how much money do you make? So I told them, this much every day. They said, we'll take 40% if you want to rent this room. I said, okay. Honestly, I gave them 40% of whatever I made every day. And by end of the year, they never gave me receipts, so I had to pay full taxes for the whole year. So I moved from there, and yes, my accountant asked for the receipt, what I paid 40%, nobody gave me. They said, you don't have to tell anybody, we take that money from you. Okay. So I had to pay all the taxes. So anyway, I learned my lesson. I took my whole place after that. I made enough clients in 1 year, and first clinic, then I purchased more machines. I never, my only savings I got from US was $40,000 because I was assistant professor there. $30,000 I invested in machines, $10,000 for cushion money, and from then on till today, I have 2 clinics now, and I've never spent more. I earned and I invested in that. So all my machines are paid off. Everything, I own 2 clinics with $3 my budget initially. So 2 successful clinics. I specialize in, I custom designed all the pain treatments with laser knowledge. Many treatments which I do today, nobody does in GTA. Like I treat arthritis, migraines, I treat spinal stenosis, I treat all kinds of pain, addiction, or dermatological conditions, whether it's eczema, whether it's fungus. Nail fungus, a lot of people have, and I treat it successfully without any medication. So that's my story, and I thank you all for listening to my story. And it's a great honor to be here and be called entrepreneur. I was professor of physics turned entrepreneur. Thank you very much, and thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Estefania. I am one of the owners, me and my husband, from Enzo Latin Food Supplier. I am very proud of this moment and very thankful to look my effort. I started the business being pregnant on the COVID. You know, I am a person that needs to be moving always my mind. I cannot stop. And they just make us go inside the house, doesn't know what to do. I didn't want to look the news to know what was going around. So I started looking the market and thinking what to do. I found an amazing opportunity on the wholesaler from Latin products because it's a new, let's say, market. It's very fresh. So I said, maybe I have here an opportunity. Of course, I spoke with my husband, and he gave me the economical support to trust in me and to start with the savings of the family that was $12,000 to buy some product and bring it to Canada. Yeah, it was a lot of job, and I was really, really afraid to use the money of the family that somebody else was coming, another member, and I don't know if I was using in the good or in the bad way our money, you know. So I was really, really afraid. Even I was not sleeping. I can tell you that, like, I was not sure if I was making the correct thing. But I trust myself. The product arrived, and then I say, okay, it's time to find customers. So I start calling, going to stores, going to restaurants, and honestly, most of the customers were looking at me like, okay, you have a catalog of 30 products, and I have suppliers that have more than 1,000 products. Like, how can I help you? Honestly, a lot of the customers, they just look me that I really want to succeed, and they just start to buy me a little bit of these products. After I start trying to get better prices, new products, and looking different opportunities on the market, now I don't believe where I am, the kind of decisions I'm taking. Like even I didn't imagine to go in a market full of different numbers, like to buy full containers from another country, to bring trailers from US every week. Like these went out of my hands. Sometimes I'm still scared because I look the things are going on, that I can do it. And maybe I'm going to the big leagues as a woman that with 31 years old, I was in some point scared, but now I trust too much myself. And I love one phrase that I want to tell everyone, like, this was my dream when I was a kid. So remember that dream that you had. Dream big, make a big effort, and dreams come true. So I just want to support anyone that wants to follow their dreams. Thank you very much to everyone, and whatever I can help to you or any other woman, I'm really open to help.
Hi everyone. So apologies for the dark video. I actually had to film that during an event yesterday, so there's a little bit going on there. But that's what we do as entrepreneurs, as mothers, as business owners. I just want to talk to you a little bit about how Valencia was even founded and why. So my background, as you heard, is with a lobbying firm. So I understood the buckets of money available for women and for minority females. However, there was a huge gap when it came to strategic frameworks and really having the resources to support these women. It's amazing to get $30,000, $40,000 for your business, but if you're not sure where you're really putting those funds, it can easily be wasted, and then you're left with nothing. And sometimes you actually need to pay that money back. So that was a huge gap that I identified and that I really wanted to help support. I did speak a bit about it here, but we can't afford Deloitte, KPMG, wonderful, wonderful firms, but these small businesses can't do that. So that's really what Valencia Strategies is here and built to do. We started through market research and analysis. That grew to brand strategy and development. So we help our entrepreneurs, whether they need to shift the target segments, whether they need to shift their reach, we can help them do that. We can build their brand to then do that. We then moved into the digital realm, so building websites, tweaking websites if that needs to happen. We do SEO strategy and social media management, again, just helping these businesses as best we can. We don't have structured pricing systems. It's based on affordability, and I think that that's something that was extremely lacking. I've helped amazing women, and again, that event that this was filmed at, it had a lot of the clients there. It was a client appreciation event, and I literally cried while I was in front just because it was just so amazing to see the change and the impact in the room. So all I have to say is thank you so much. And I heard an amazing quote from Solange with Elevate International the other day, and it was, "Success is forged in fire." And I could not say it any better. So I'll leave you on that note, and thank you so much.
Lenore Johnson is actually on her honeymoon right now. So to accept her award are her parents.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to be here this afternoon as a very proud father. My wife and I were very proud parents of Lenore. And of course, we would have preferred for Lenore to have been here this afternoon so that you could meet her in person and enjoy some of the enthusiasm that she exudes and also her energy. But at this moment, she's in flight to the destination of their honeymoon, which they had postponed from June until now. So she asked us, her parents, to deputize for her. So that's why we're here. And because of the occasion, I don't want to overshadow, so I'll allow her mom to tell the rest of her story. But before I hand over to my wife, Lorna, I would like to give thanks to some folks who made Lenja Bakes possible. As Lenore indicated, a month after she opened the store, the pandemic hit. And in the community that she opened the store in Kitchener, she had some very faithful customers who, through the rain, through the cold, would come to the window day after day. And not only did they come, but they would invite other neighbors to come. And it's as a result of that support why Lenja Bakes was made possible. Also like to thank the committee members here and thank the person who nominated her for the award, and for those of you who diligently reviewed her recommendation and selected her as one of the winners. It is said that encouragement sweetens labor, and I'm sure that this is another tap on Lenore's shoulder, and no doubt will fuel that energy in her to continue to build Lenja Bakes. My wife to you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I find 2023 to be the year for Lenore. I'm sorry that you won't get to meet her in person. Lenore is energetic, Lenore is determined, and Lenore is strong. I have never met another young lady with this strength. People would ask me, where did she get her energy from? And I thought, I have no idea. None at all. I've seen Lenore worked. I've seen Lenore worked right through the night when she opened her shop. No employees. And the business took off like COVID took off. People came from everywhere in Kitchener, and they support. And with one person doing everything, because we had no idea what she was doing. So we were her dishwashers, we were her cleaners, and we stood with her at night. This young lady worked through the night. I'm not talking about a break. I'm talking about working Thursday night, right into Friday morning, go home Friday morning at 6, shower, and back at the shop for 7. And you would walk into the shop and she'd be bubbly, and I'm thinking, how is she doing it? But this girl was up and she was laughing and she was greeting her customers. And her biggest thing is she needs to know everyone by name. She needs to know their story. She needs to know what brought them back to Lenja Bakes. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for the team that recommended Lenore, for those who voted for her. Thank you from the bottom of her heart. She is so deserving, not because she's mine, but in my old age, she taught me what hard work is, but above all, what determination is, because determination trumps your strength.
Oh my goodness,
Because as long as you are determined, even when you're tired, tiredness takes second place, and determination becomes the driver. Thank you so much, everyone.
what we'd like to do now is we're going to hear from a lot of our special guests today. What we'll do, let's start with the Honorable Charmaine Williams. Charmaine Williams was elected as MPP for Brampton Centre and appointed as Associate Minister of Women's Social and Economic Opportunity in June 22, becoming the first ever Black PC Cabinet Minister. As Associate Minister of Women's Social and Economic Opportunity, Charmaine has been particularly focused on increasing women's participation in the workforce to support their economic security and independence, especially in sectors where they are underrepresented, like entrepreneurship, skilled trades, and STEM. Prior to provincial politics, Charmaine was engaged in municipal politics. In 2018, she ran in her first election and won, serving one term as Brampton's City Councillor for Wards 7 and 8. Charmaine's beliefs, values, and courage to advocate for others are shaped by her professional and personal experiences. Before entering politics, she had a 19-year career as a certified multi-systemic therapist, behavioral consultant, and counselor, working with organizations such as the Associated Youth Services of Peel Children's Centre, and Reach Out Centre for Kids in Halton Region. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Charmaine Williams.
Hi, everyone. These are very intrusive. Can you see me? It's such an honor to be here, and congratulations to all the amazing, strong women who are just doing great things and being entrepreneurs and being an inspiration to others. So thank you so much for what you're doing. I want to thank Zubir because I appreciate hearing your words of encouragement and talking about why it's important to support women and women in entrepreneurship. I think it's great because, yes, when you have more businesses and more women in business, it makes sure that accountants are employed. So we need accountants. I caught that. I'm like, yeah, good idea. But you know why? It's so important. You can't dismiss 50% of Ontario's workforce. You can't. Women make up more than half, almost half, and more than half in some places, especially in some sectors, the workforce, and you cannot dismiss us. We need to recognize the impact that women will have on our economy. So it's important that we continue to create pathways and opportunities for women. I'm sure, many of you know firsthand that while women entrepreneurs represent an important part of our province's business ecosystem, we continue to experience the unique barriers. We continue to, and that's why we do not make up a large portion and percentage of SMEs in Ontario. But I think it's important for us to tell our story, and I'm so glad that the word story was a unique theme that was used throughout this, because our stories are the things that encourage other women to be involved, to get involved, to take that chance and take that risk. Especially because women, we are the greatest risk takers. I always say we're the queens of the side hustle, right? But we need to make our side hustle our full-time, income stream, and we can do it. So I want to encourage you to keep telling your story. I'll tell you a little bit of my story. I know you heard some of it in my introduction, but my political journey was not started in the halls of a university taking a poli-sci course or anything like that. I worked frontline in children's mental health, and I loved that sector. It was important for me to do this work because I really have a desire to see each and every person thrive and be well. And I would work with parents and a lot of women who were either in the system, who had to navigate the social systems, who faced barriers to support, economic support, faced barriers to legal barriers, you name it. And women would really need to have that encouragement in how to navigate. I would do things like work with a mom, come into her home at like 8:30 at night and help her put her kids to bed. That's the kind of stuff I would do. Help them understand what their child's going through, navigate their child's behavior, and empower them to get it. And not to feel like there's a right way to do this and a wrong way, but it support them during those frustrating parenting moments. But I love that work. I wouldn't trade it because it taught me why it's important to be here politically. But I didn't get involved in politics until I actually saw somebody else that I knew, a friend of mine, win her election. When she won her election in 2014, I was like, oh my goodness, is this possible? It's possible to win an election? Like, you need to see somebody do it before you think about doing it. Well, she ran, and when she was elected for her term, she would always say to me, Charmaine, you need to be at the table. You'd be amazed at who is at the table making decisions for you. You need to be at the table and get involved. And I'd say, nah, it's politics. In the Caribbean, if there's Caribbeans in the word, what is our word for politics? Politricks. You know, so I never really was interested in the politricks. But, you know, I learned through her why it's important for us to be at the table. So I still wasn't convinced until I had a massive health scare. I had my 5th baby, Malcolm. 6 days after having him, I suffered a massive brain hemorrhage. That brain hemorrhage, I was in the ICU. I was unable to walk. It was debilitating, but it was life-changing because I realized that if God wasn't finished with me, then clearly there's something else for me to do, right? I pushed through that healing process, and when my friend in 2018 came up to me, she's like, we're approaching another election. Do you think you want to run this time? I was like, what? But I said yes. I was scared. I didn't know what I was doing, but I went through a door that I had no idea what was going to be on the other side. But you know what happens when you take a risk and you go through a door that's scary? There are good people on the other side to help you through, right? All of you who are entrepreneurs in the room know what that feels like. There's good people on the other side to help you through, to give you that support. And that was enough to help me realize that this was something attainable. I ran in that election. I knocked so many doors every day. I was on mat leave, so I could do it. But I did it, and I won that election in 2018, being the first black woman to ever win a provincial election in Brampton, a municipal election in Brampton City Council. And that opened a door, and it opened a door to opportunities. And so I tell this story because what did it lead me to? Now I am in provincial politics. I serve as the first ever black person to sit on a PC cabinet in Ontario. And there are opportunities now that I'm just amazed. I'm like, how can I help every single woman in this room become as successful as you want, as successful as you can, because that's what Ontario is about. It's about the opportunities, and I'm so proud to be a part of a government and with our Premier of Ontario, Doug Ford, to see us being a party of opportunities. That's what we are. We want to say, if you want to accomplish something, you can. We are the government to help you do that. And I don't want to take up any more of your time, but I just want to say thank you for telling your story. And in my ministry, we want to make sure that every woman has that opportunity through the programs that we fund. I fund Investing in Women's Futures program. What a great name. I fund the Women's Economic Security program, where we make sure that organizations in the communities help women either with entrepreneurship or in sectors where they're underrepresented, like the skilled trades, like entrepreneurship. We want to make sure that you have those opportunities. So I'm going to stop there because I just want to thank you all. Thank RPA for what you do and how you're going to help businesses in the future, because we need accountants. We do. We really do. So thank you for seeing the value in women and supporting women every step of the way on their economic journey, because, hey, you know, when a woman is economically secure and supported, they are less likely to end up in or stay in abusive relationships. That's the reason why we do this, right? We keep women safe when we make sure they have opportunities. So thank you so much for all you do, and I'm going to stop there. Thank you.
Thank you very much. As a token of our thanks, thank you very much. Okay. So we are moving swiftly along to our keynote speaker. The Honourable Nina Tangri was elected to the Legislative Assembly of Ontario in 2018 as the Member of Provincial Parliament representing the riding of Mississauga-Streetsville. Nina Tangri is also Ontario's Associate Minister of Small Business. In June 2019, Nina was appointed Parliamentary Assistant to the Minister of Economic Development, Job Creation and Trade. In 2021, she served as the Minister of Small Business and Red Tape Reduction. And in March 2023, she was the Associate Minister of Housing. She has also chaired the Standing Committee on Social Policy and served as a member of the Standing Committee on Justice Policy, the Standing Committee on Government Agencies, and the Standing Committee on Public Accounts. Professionally, Nina is an entrepreneur and small business owner with over 35 years of experience in insurance and finance. Until her election to Ontario's 42nd Parliament, she was the CEO of Tangri Insurance and Financial Group and president of Tangri BMT Insurance Brokers. She also has served as the vice chair for Credit Valley Hospital. Nina Tangri is passionate about bringing communities together and working with individuals, businesses, and organizations to learn how the government can make Ontario the best place to live, work, invest, and raise a family. Nina believes when communities prosper, Ontario prospers. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Minister Tangri.
Wow. It's been an amazing afternoon. I am absolutely, truly inspired listening to all those wonderful stories and entrepreneurs today. I want to thank you, Michael, for that kind introduction. Let's have a round of applause for our great Master of Ceremonies today. This is really high. Sorry, I'm not as tall as some of the others. But honestly, it really is a true pleasure to join you all here at the Registered Professional Accountants Women's Entrepreneur Awards alongside my colleagues, Sharif Sabawi, Deepak Anand, and of course, as you just heard from Associate Minister Williams. And you know what? I do want to thank you and thank the Society again for hosting this important annual event. This is, I think, my third continuous year out of the 5, and I think I did one also virtually. And each and every year, as I listen to the amazing stories of each entrepreneur and their journeys, it just strives to make me do more as well. So, and I believe me, I know how hard it is to start and to grow a successful businesses. The very early mornings, the very late nights, the weekends spent away from family, it really does take drive and determination to get a business off the ground and keeping it running. And it's really easy to give up. It's really easy to say, I'm not cut out for this. But when we heard about knocking on those thousands of doors and just keep going, we've heard about going to bed at 6 in the morning just to start right again at 7. And all of the other stories we've heard about how the credentials we've brought to Canada may not be the way we're going to go in the future. But pivoting and turning and continuing and striving to do more each and every day really is inspiring. But I also know what the immense pride it is in starting a business, launching that website, securing that first customer, and hiring an employee. Doing everything that it needs to take to make it a great success. So, as Ontario's Minister of Small Business, it is my job to ensure that those people with commitment, drive and determination, like all of you, have the tools and supports that you need to start and grow a business. Small businesses are so critical to Ontario's success. In fact, they form the backbone of our economy, employing more than 2.4 million people. And that backbone is firmly supported by what we like to call the Ontario spirit. And it's that spirit of entrepreneurship and hard work that makes this province the economic engine of Canada. And we want to see more women, more people turn their business ideas into a reality. Our government supports a wide range of services, programs, and tools to ensure that business owners have what they need both at home and in the global marketplace. So we have 17 regional innovation centres to help early stage or growing tech companies with the potential to expand and succeed on a global scale. There are 47 small business enterprise centres in communities across Ontario that provide on-the-ground support, funding, and guidance through seminars, workshops, and training to start and scale a business. We created Intellectual Property Ontario, a new agency that provides IP supports and services to help businesses and researchers commercialize their ideas and innovations. We're investing in innovative programs like Digital Main Street that has helped over 74,000 small businesses create or increase their digital presence. And we invested over $40 million to help Ontario small businesses compete in the digital market space and improve their productivity. And to support our next generation of business leaders, our government has invested $5 million into the Futurepreneur Canada program. This is a remarkable program where young entrepreneurs from across the province can access mentorship programs and loan capital worth up to $20,000. So as we all know, Ontario is a very diverse and inclusive province. We recognize the value of women as an asset in our social fabric on economic prosperity. So on behalf of the Government of Ontario, congratulations to the amazing women entrepreneurs today. Each and every one of you have made your dream of starting a business come true. So I'm just going to pivot away from my remarks, and I was writing a lot of notes as I was listening to each and every one of you today, and a little bit about my story. So I've known Zubair for about 25 years. And it was Zubair, actually, that was one of the people who first asked me and encouraged me to get involved in politics, try to make a difference. And he's been an absolute amazing mentor. So he got me, encouraged me to run. And then when I didn't win, he encouraged me not to give up. So here I am, standing in front of you today, thanks to him. Just like he's empowering all of the wonderful women here, he empowered me. He's been very, very passionate. We've heard that today. And I can say that you're all very fortunate to have great leadership like him at the RPA. So as you all know, Ontario is truly a great place to be. And it's my honour as the Ontario's Minister of Small Business to thank each and every one of you that makes Ontario the best place to live, to work, to raise a family, but most of all, to have a great business. So thank you to all of you. Thank you for welcoming us today. It really is truly an honour to be here.
Thank you very much. Minister Tangri has also brought certificates for each of the award winners. So if you could please come up to the stage again, and we will present these.
I feel like I'm part of the RPA family now. So.
So we can get all five.
Come on.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Deepak Anand. I'm the member of Provincial Parliament from the riding where we are. So, first of all, I just want to say thank you to RPA for organizing this event. And I want to talk a little bit about Ontario. What a wonderful place. We have on our table 4 MPPs, and 2 of them are women, and both are wonderful ministers. And that is what our Ontario is all about, making sure that women can have an opportunity to give back to the community. But what I quickly want to talk about is something that which I always believe, it's not just the business or the business excellence. I think this whole thing starts as we grow up as children. That's where we need to put the effort as well. So when we talk about, I'll give you a small example. I just noticed a few months, a few years back, when I was doing something, my wife helped me to get something done, and nobody even said or uttered a word. And when my wife was trying to do something and I was trying to help, all of a sudden it became, oh, he's doing it for her. How is that fair? When she does it for me, is that I'm doing it. When I do it for her, he's doing it for her. I think this is the mental block and the mental challenge that we have in the society that we need to overcome. And who could do better than the women entrepreneurs in the room? I always believe you're the leader. That's why you're here. But you do not represent everyone. You actually do not represent most. So it is your prime responsibility to go out and find those who are not here, hold their hand and bring them here. And that is being a true leader, and that is being a true champion. So again, to all the winners, you have shown the leadership and it has been recognized. But I think more than that, we need you than ever to go back and find more women who are not like you and make them like you, so that we don't have this stigma as our children or my daughter or her daughter is growing up. So thank you again to RPA. Thank you, Jubair, for all what you do. Always a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I'm very delighted to be here today because I always support any efforts or any inspiring women to get into different aspects of life and get professional-wise, business-wise. I myself, when we came to Canada, my wife is a doctor, and she had to go through all the process to get her credentials. So for 4 years, she have been doing exams with all the support I can give for her to get to that. Then when she finished and she couldn't get her license in Ontario because of the Canadian experience barrier, she had to move to Manitoba, to Winnipeg. And I had the kids with me doing my full-time job, teaching in the college, activities in politics, and supporting her remotely as well to do like her period in Manitoba to come, which is supposed to be 2 years Canadian experience, ended to be 2 years a restricted license, so it can't count. Then another 2 years as full doctor, that counted, but we don't take general practitioners. Another 2 years to do family specialization, and 1 year to come back, 7 years. So with all that time, all the support she needed to continue that long journey was the family, like me and the kids, keep encouraging her to continue. It's another 2 years, not going to be a big deal, it's going to pass. And in my opinion, this is not only contributing to the business or finances or those aspects. I think there's a big aspect which is missing, which nobody looked into it, is the culture, the social part of that. When the women have their own career, their independence, it's much easier on the family life and the relation, the marriage relation or the friendship relation, because it's equal relations. Nobody feels that he is or she is the low side, or I can't be independent, or I need my family to support me. When she have her own independence, it's much easier stress-wise on the family. and on the kids. And I would say also on the men. Like when we were in one family, when one income family, it was very stressful me being an immigrant who have nobody here to support me. What if something happened to me? Then my family wouldn't have a good support. But when my wife get her profession, I felt more relaxed because whatever happens, we have somebody else to support the family and support my kids. So thank you very much for what you are doing, but this is important realization. What's the impact on the social life of the community to have independent, working income women? So thank you very much.
I'd like to introduce you to the Honorable Rechi Valdez. Was elected as the Member of Parliament for Mississauga-Streetsville in 2021. She has been a member of various parliamentary committees and associations, including the Standing Committee on Veterans Affairs, the Standing Committee on Agriculture and Agri-Food, the Canadian NATO Parliamentary Association, as well as the chair of the Canada-Philippines Parliamentary Friendship Group. Minister Valdez is a Canadian entrepreneur, television personality, and community advocate. She is the first Filipina-Canadian woman elected as a member of parliament and appointed to cabinet, and is committed to ensuring the diverse voices of her community are heard. Before entering politics, Minister Valdez owned and operated a small business and dedicated herself to growing her online business avenues. She was also the host of a television show that shares the stories of entrepreneurs, creators, and artists. Prior to that, she worked in corporate banking for 15 years, where she developed her expertise in change management and strategic initiatives. Drawing on her long-standing advocacy, Minister Valdez also sponsored the National Women's Entrepreneurship Act in 2022. A sports enthusiast, Minister Valdez has used her love for basketball, go Raptors, to raise funds for children's charities. She has made numerous media appearances, was a public speaker, and is a mentor dedicated to the empowerment of women, girls, youth, and diverse and marginalized groups. Born and raised in Zambia, Minister Valdez immigrated to Canada with her family in 1989. She is married and the mother of 2 children. Please join me in giving a warm welcome to Rechi Valdez.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. How are we all doing today? I know it's probably towards the end of the day, so how are we all doing today? Yes, that's the kind of energy, because it is Small Business Week. So first and foremost, happy Small Business Week to all of you. So thank you so much for that warm introduction. I just want to add some more flavor to how this whole journey and me standing in front of you all started. As you heard, my amazing parents decided, they're both from the Philippines. They started their adventure traveling first together as a couple to Zambia, Africa, in a little city called Kitwe. And they started their lives there. And that's where my brother and I were born. And they were, going through their life. And they're like, you know what? We want an even better life. So then they immigrated here to Canada when I was 9 years old. And I've lived in Mississauga for a very, very long time. But you know what? I wouldn't be standing in front of you without their incredible sacrifice. As you heard from Sharif, my mom's the same thing. She had to get her credentials recognized because they weren't recognized here. So they were hustling, working full-time jobs, double shifts, just to make sure there was a roof over our head and food on the table. And my parents were like, you are not going to eat McDonald's, dear child. I'm going to make you home-cooked food every single day. And that, all their sacrifice made me realize, if they can travel 2 separate continents, I can probably do some really cool stuff too. So I graduated from computer science in university, started my career in corporate banking, and I listened to my parents' advice. They're like, Richie, you need to get a job. No problem. Go to school and graduate. Did that? Check that box. Richie, you need to get a job. Did that? Richie, you need to find a husband. Did that? Richie, you need to have children. Did that? So, I was ticking off these boxes in my life. And I thought that was it. worked 9 to 5. I was in what I call a bubble, not realizing there was more to life out there. And when my daughter, by the way, my son's 14 now, way taller than me, and my daughter's 8 going on 16. But when she was 1 year old, I made her first birthday cake. And I still remember the day. I mean, it was all right, best effort. But something really magical happened that day when I made her cake. I connected to something more important than anything else, something I never knew existed in me, which was my creative passion. I was like, what is this? Something made me realize in that moment that I could do more. So I was inspired in that moment to start my very own business. So I was a baker. So banker by day, baker by night, maid. So I basically put the kids, went to school, put the kids to bed, scooched off to the commercial kitchen, baked all the desserts, and on weekends in between grocery shopping and kids events and stuff like that, then I delivered my customers' orders. All to say that I understand the hustle. I had to do it all. And as women, we can do it all. If we want it. If we want it. So when I was invited to today's events, I was like, yes. So thank you, first of all, for having me to join you at your 5th annual RPA Women's Entrepreneurship Awards. I'd like to thank the organizers from the Society of Professional Accountants of Canada for recognizing leading female local entrepreneurs who have made impressive and substantial contributions to local small businesses. So thank you so much. You took the time to say, we want to recognize these outstanding individuals, and I saw the process that you went through to pick these amazing individuals. So kudos to you for taking the initiative to do that. And so for me, I'm really here. I've been traveling the country now from coast to coast for the last 2 weeks for Small Business Week, and I've heard some amazing stories of all the women entrepreneurs out there across Canada. And I really want to share with you, again, as a small business entrepreneur, it's really phenomenal, all the things that you do every day. So to all the entrepreneurs in the room, thank you so much. I know how hard it's been. I was there, right there with you during the pandemic. And I really want to share with you that our government, and this is so unbelievable, in 2018, we were the first to initiate the Women's Entrepreneurship Strategy. $7 billion since 2018 has gone towards helping tens of thousands of women entrepreneurs get started. But you know what? It isn't about just money. It isn't. Because women need support systems. I just shared with you how challenging it was for me to even have the bravery needed to start a business. So we're not just going to dole out money. We create support systems through our ecosystems and develop them all across Canada to make sure that if you need help, if you need a conversation, if you need coaching, anything that you need, it's there for you. And then on top of that, part of that strategy is also saying, okay, so we're learning a lot of things since 2018. What are we going to do in the future generation? We created a knowledge hub so that all that information, all the research, all these learnings that we get are going to be placed somewhere so that future generations can learn from what we made mistakes from. And so I just want to share that with you because it's very important that most people actually don't know that. And so ever since I got the role, my major role to all of you is to actually get out on the ground and talk to you and say there are support systems available. You just have to reach out and take it. So I want to congratulate the 5 of the awardees. So there's Manaz Atkinson. I'm going to ask you to stand up, please. Is she here? Oh, no. Okay, so congratulations to Manaz. Dr. Indira Khurana. Yay. I know you've probably been cheered. I'm still going to do it for you. Estefania Hernandez Sanchez. Round of applause. Marique Richards. Yes. And Lenore Johnson. Yay. Aww. Thank you so much. So congratulations to the awardees. Thank you. You are the reason why I do what I do every day. So keep doing what you're doing. And so thank you to RPA for recognizing these amazing women. Did I miss someone? No, I didn't. Okay. We good? Okay, so I just wanted to say thank you so much to all of you, and thanks for having me.
love flowers.